Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome to your reading. This is your 2022 jumpstart reading. We are going to see how you can get the best jumpstart for 2022. So we're just going to see, I don't know, we're just going to see what comes up here, Aquarius. I am going to do just full-on 2022 readings as well next month, so definitely keep an eye out for those, and those will be a little bit more in depth, but I just wanted to see, like, for, as I said to everybody else, for all you overachievers out there who want to get started right now, we are going to see what is coming up for you for 2022. And again, this is how you can get a jump start on your, your New Year's resolutions, or kind of like how you can set yourself up for 2022 here. And let's see. You start off with this time to go card here, so I definitely feel like some of you have been in limbo for a long period of time. Kind of interesting. I also find it just shockingly interesting what is going on here in your last row. You have this My Home in the Castle card, and I'm going to go cover these one by one at the end, but you have this My Home in the Castle card, the Tower, the Eight of Cups, and the Devil energy here. This reminds me of kind of like needing to leave something behind. I feel like I say to you every single reading, Aquarius, I'm not calling you out, but I am. And that's how I feel right now. I feel like if you feel like you're stuck in limbo, I feel like it's because you're in like a limbo situation. That's how I see this. This last row. And again, we're going to cover this at the end. But it's like some of you could be in an in-between situation. This could be in love. This could be in business. This could be in career. It's in some area of your life. And I feel like, this reading is encouraging you to leave the situation, because it's like there's something much, much better for you by leaving the situation. It's better than being stuck between two doors. This lady here on this card, she is stuck between two doors. She's like stuck between the past and the future, but she's just staying in limbo. She's staying stuck. It's actually not a bad reading. I don't think there's anything, too bad here. Even with your last row, it's a little messy, but I think it's just messy. I don't think it's something, it's not something that can't be cleaned up, right? And again, this reading is meant to be more advice-based anyway. This is meant to be more, how you can, again, have the best chance in 2022. So, definitely something to think about here. But you have the Four of Swords, the Six of Wands, the Temperance card, and the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles, to me, can be a card of things being the same. It is, to me, the King of Pentacles is a card of convention. It's a card of the way things have always been done. And so it's not necessarily a bad card, but again, I just feel that this row even here, King of Pentacles to the Queen of Wands, it's like that Queen of Wands is your middle card in the 9-card portion of the reading. It's like, yes, we have these oracle cards here to make it 12 cards. I can do math, believe it or not. I actually can't, but that's the best math I can do. So we have those cards, but I'm talking about the tarot portion here. The Queen of Wands is your most important card here. I feel like she's asking you to be bold, asking you to be assertive, asking you to go get things. So what are you going to go get? Well, I feel like you're going to go get this right here, a victory, Six of Wands. Six of Wands is a victory. It is success. It is, a card of excellence as well. I think that's probably the most important part of the Six of Wands is that he lives in excellence. He doesn't do anything, poorly. He tries to do everything he does to a high degree of accuracy. And same thing with your next card, Eight of Pentacles here. But the Eight of Pentacles isn't about doing everything. It's about doing one thing. He's doing one thing on the Eight of Pentacles. He's not spreading his energy out all over the place, right? So I feel this energy that is very heavy for you, Aquarius, and the energy that I'm feeling is trying to be too good at doing too many things, right? So I understand this. I'm an Aquarius rising, right? And it's only this year have I hired people for, I do other business stuff other than the channel. So I like only this year have I truly hired people to like help me out. And it's probably something I should have done years ago because it's made my life a lot easier, right? And there are just things that I'm just not good at, plain and simple. I'm not even good at hiring people because I can't even express like what I want, like what I want done. So I hired my brother to help me. And literally part of his job is to just tell people what I want done because I can kind of like he kind of understands me and things like that, right? I'm getting that for you here. And that's why I'm telling you this. I'm not telling you this to just like talk about myself. But what I would say here is like I feel like there could be opportunities. I'm not saying you have to hire people or anything like that for your business, although definitely would be helpful if you happen to have a business. I just feel like for a lot of you that like focusing on the things that you're really good at, Eight of Pentacles here, or focusing on one thing is going to be better. It's going to be much better than you think as well. I think sometimes we can get into this habit of trying to do more and 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 more, especially if we have experienced lack in the past. And that's like intuitively, that's really just smushing this all together, this whole first row. That's really the only way I can express that energy is it's like that you've experienced the lack in the past. So now maybe you're it's like you're overdoing things, right? I feel like I said this to you recently as well. And if I said this to you in your last reading, which I might have, because I'm pretty sure it was you that I said this to, it's almost like that over-delivering energy or trying to, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. I never do, but I feel like it's almost like you're trying to do too much here with that Eight of Pentacles. I actually feel like you need to be thinking less and not more, is what this whole entire reading is saying to me. You're not the only sign that has had a message like this. There was one other sign, I can't remember who it was, that had a very similar message. So again, watch your sun, moon, and rising. If you get the other sign that had a similar message, I definitely feel like it is for you. Look at this. 4 swords, 6 wands, magician. It's like the magician, he does have mastery. If he wants to focus there, he does have mastery over all the suits. He has access to all those tools that are in front of him, which is every single suit in the tarot. But he's got the wand up in the air, and he's pointing down at the ground. He's like saying, you have a dream, you have an idea, you have something that you could create with magic, but you also need to bring it down to earth here. He also has the snake that is wrapped around his waist there, and it's an Ouroboros. It's like a snake eating its own tail. It kind of represents needing to not be afraid to reinvent yourself, and I definitely get that for you here. Like, I feel like for some of you, like, I feel like you're maybe, I feel that scattered energy where you could be doing too many things in your life. And I don't necessarily think this is a bad thing. It could be keeping you busy. But I feel like saying to yourself, like, maybe I need to just focus on the one thing I'm good at, and I just need to make it happen. And then kind of going from there would be a good idea for you here, Aquarius. I just like have a lot of stories popping into my head, and I want to take my time on these readings. And I want to kind of like get some of these things out because I think they're important. And like some of the things that are popping into my head, it's like maybe you have a business or maybe you have like a career or something that you're working on, but maybe you also have children. It's like I feel like you're trying to be like a really great parent and a really great business person. I'm not saying you can't do both, right? But what I am saying is it's like maybe there is some assistance. Maybe there is a person that can help you. It's like maybe you really want to take care of your children, which of course is a great thing, right? But it's like maybe there could be a person who could come in and watch your children for an hour or just a short period of time, right? It's like I feel there's something here about just like freeing up just a little bit of your time. Not, again, you're not ignoring your children or anything like that. I think for some of you, I think it's just about kind of like the focus energy, right? Needing and being present. Because I think something that people forget as well about like children and things like that is it's like if you're constantly running around trying to run like a business and you have children and all this other stuff, I understand wanting to be with your children. I even understand not wanting to send them to like daycare and things like that. But what I would say is it's like if you're constantly running around trying to do both, it's like it's harder to be present with your child when you're with your child. It's harder to be present with your business if there like isn't that separation. That's like what I'm getting here in your reading. And it might not even be children for you, Aquarius. It might be something else in your life where it's like you might be thinking that you're doing a lot, but I actually think you're just like thinking about a lot of things while you're working on one thing. And it's like just creating like this, like I just see these things moving around like this in my head. Very distracting energy, right? So I think if you can think more like, how can I focus on one thing at a time? You're actually going to get like 20 times more done than you think. With the Temperance card, you have the Ten of Cups, fortune after difficulty, balance. Again, the Temperance card is all about balance. That's where I was getting this energy of like needing to focus. Family, it's funny that I was saying children with the Ten of Cups. So for some of you, I definitely feel like it could be children that we are referring to here. But I think like focusing on one thing, like trust me, I used to think that I could multitask, right? Personally, like I used to be all about doing like 900 things at once and all this other stuff. Like I said, not saying this to brag, but just like hiring people this year, getting people in the right place. Like I've worked like 6 years this year. So in 1 year, just by focusing on like one thing, right? You're looking at it right here. This is the result. I went from, like 40,000 subs to whatever I have now, almost 600,000. So, like I said, I think the results speak for themselves here with this. And again, like I said, and I'm not saying you can't work on multiple things. I have other businesses. I have other things that I do. I have other things that I have people taking care of for me. So, it's like one of those things where, like I said, getting people in the right place, it can definitely make things a lot easier. The other thing is like I said, I'm not saying you have to have 6 businesses, or I'm not even saying this has to do with business. I think it just has to do more with your focus and kind of like having deliberate focus when you're like, this could be a relationship. Maybe you have a relationship and you're like making time where you focus on the relationship and you're not like running around focusing on all these other things as well. It's a very complex reading. With the King of Pentacles, you have the Ace of Wands. Yeah, passion, happiness, good energy. I feel like this is really nice for you here. It's like this is turning into something much, much nicer. It's like if you step through that doorway as well, like I definitely see here at the end that some of you could be leaving a situation that is going to pull you out of limbo. And it's going to lead to this like amazing new beginning with the Ace of Wands. We go Ace of Wands to the Star, to the Devil. We're going to have to see what that's about, but it is what it is. Next, you have this Broken Open card here. Again, I feel like this is more of a fear. This is a good card. It's like she's kind of expressing her true self on this card. That's the whole point of the card. But I definitely feel like some of you, this could be referring to, it could be like a little bit of a fear of like something here. And sorry, I need water at this time. But I feel like this could be like a fear of being, something being exposed or something coming out. You have the Eight of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, and the Star. In a lot of ways, I feel like this whole entire row is amazing. I mean, to me, it's like saying you're discovering your true power. Queen of Wands, that Broken Open card, again, she is expressing her true self. And the Star card here, definitely, I feel for a lot of you, resting, relaxing, recovering would be a good idea for you. The Four of Swords is your first card here in this spread. But I also feel like this is a lot of positive attention. Queen of Wands is like one of my favorite cards in the deck. It is a card of being bold, being assertive, really going for something that you desire to have in your life, really expressing yourself. She has no limits, and she really kind of puts herself out there. She also represents like needing to be bold, needing to be assertive, needing to kind of go towards the things that you desire here with that Queen of Wands energy. The Eight of Pentacles, again, I feel like it's saying, like, focus on what's effective in your life. I would really be focusing, again, sometimes I think trust me, I was there for years here, Aquarius, in my life, where, like, I thought that busyness was the answer. And it's like, right now, I am the busiest I've ever been, right? But I'm the most focused I've ever been. And the funny thing is even though I'm the most busiest, is that a word? I don't know, but even though I'm the most busy that I've ever been, I've gotten like 20 times more accomplished, and I have a lot more free time just by focusing, just by not spreading myself too thin. And I feel like this is extremely important for you. That's why, again, people always get mad at me that I'm talking about myself. I'm like, sorry, go watch someone else. But, at the same time, like, this is good advice. Trust me, it changed my life. That's why I'm saying this stuff. So, that's what I would do here. I would make sure you're not spreading yourself too thin, and I would like focus on one thing. You might think you're getting a lot done, but if you actually look at it, you're probably not. And that's not a criticism. Again, I'm trying to make your life way easier and way more effective here with this middle row. And I think you are. I mean, you are doing this. I'm not doing anything. You're doing all the work. Eight of Pentacles. With the Eight of Pentacles, you have the Five of Pentacles here as well. For those of you that are fearing letting go of this situation that we're going to talk about in a minute at the end, I feel like the Eight of Pentacles is saying you've put a lot of work into a situation, and that could be why you are fearing leaving the situation. It's almost like for some of you, you could be fearing walking away from something that is a little bit of a safety net. It's like you could be, for example, you could be, I kind of see this as being stuck in limbo, right? Like I said at the beginning of the reading. I'm trying to give you some good examples of like what I'm feeling here. For some of you, it could be divorce. It's like sometimes I think people go through a divorce or they have a separation, but they don't complete the divorce. It's like they don't want to be with the person, but they're also afraid of letting go of the safety net. They're afraid of letting, like, will I be able to find another person? Will I be able to get out there? And, this is a very complex situation, like I said at the beginning of the reading. It's almost like I see a video game in my head here, Aquarius. I don't know how to describe it. I see all these things, like moving around in my head, like trying to describe this situation. That's a message I'm getting here. Like I said, very complex situation. And so for some of you, it's like, it could be marriage and that you're afraid of leaving. It's like you want to go somewhere else. You want to maybe meet someone else, but it's like you're not letting go of the safety net. But that is actually the thing that is preventing you from all this happiness that's showing up here as well. So I feel like for some of you, it's like you need to not be afraid to cross through the threshold. For others, it's like you could still be talking to a past person in a relationship, and maybe you have a new person, but it's like you're not letting go of the past person because maybe you're afraid that the new person, it's almost like you're projecting too far into the future. I get it. I'm an Aquarius rising. Like I said, I think Aquarius, people are very future thinking in general, but it's almost like you're thinking too much into the future, and it's like you're fearing something that might not ever happen. 5 of Pentacles. You're fearing being left out in the cold. You're fearing, like, if I walk away from this thing, and this could be in business as well. It's like, again, maybe you have like 20 businesses. Maybe one is making you a majority of the money, but you're like, oh, if I let go of these other things, I won't be able to pay my bills. I think you need to get rid of the fear, because it's like if you actually focus on the one thing that's working, you're going to get a lot more done. And that's what this is saying to me. With the Queen of Wands here, you have the Knight of Swords here. Yeah, it's like you're trying to make sure that you're not making a hasty decision. I don't really think this is a bad thing necessarily, although I think the decision has already been made. Like I said, I think that the best way I can describe your situation is divorce. It's like you could be holding on to the past person, and I'm not saying you are, but that's just the example that I'm giving you here. And again, it could be a job, it could be a business, it could be anything in your life that you're like still holding on to, but there's something so much better over here. You're trying to not to make a hasty decision. I don't fault you for that, like I said, with that Knight of Swords, but, I feel like you already know what you're going to do in the first place. The Star, boom. The Star is needing, with the Two of Cups, is needing to connect with your higher self. This right here is needing to connect with, like, who you really are. The Star card, sometimes, like, again, I did it for years. I just stayed busy so I wouldn't have to connect with myself, right? So sometimes I think we stay busy so that we don't have to listen to the, higher self chatter as well. So some of you, maybe you need to take some time to listen to yourself, listen to your higher self, meditation time, resting, relaxing time, alone time, things like that. That would be a good thing. I would say, I would look at anything you're doing, and I would say, like, are these activities that I'm doing, are they truly effective, or are they just crutches so I don't have to think about things that I don't want to think about? And again, I'm not criticizing you here. I did it for years. There were many things that I just didn't want to look at, period, in my life. So it's like I filled my days up with, like, needless activities that didn't really do anything. That was just busy work, right? They never accomplished anything, just so I don't have to think about it. So I'd say make sure, I think this reading is just saying make sure you're being effective, make sure you're doing things that are effective, and make sure you're also taking time for yourself, right? Next, in your last row, weird row. It's weird how this reading is set up. Like I already said, you have this My Home in the Castle card. It's supposed to be a good card. With the Tower here, I think it makes perfect sense. She's even got a tower in her hands. Look, she's holding on to a tower. So you have the Tower right here, Aquarius. I feel like for some of you, it's like that Home in the Castle card is saying you could be walling yourself off from the real world. The Tower is all about being behind walls that have been built up too high around you. And they are about things needing to come back down to reality. So I feel like for some of you, that's what the Tower is saying. You have the Eight of Cups and the Devil. I do like that the Eight of Cups is here. To me, it says you've made your decision. Like I said here with the Knight of Swords here in this area. I feel like you've chosen happiness with the Ten of Cups here as well. And it's like you are kind of like walking away from things that no longer serve you. It's like you're much more free than you realize here with the Devil card. The Devil, the whole point of the Devil is that those people, the chains that are around their neck, they're meant to look very loose. They're meant to, these people, they could just go like this and they could pull those chains right off and they could walk away from, the devil, basically. So I feel like for some of you, it's like saying you need to walk away from this limbo situation. You need to walk away from the situation that you feel like is keeping you stuck here, Aquarius. But let's see here what is going on for you. With the Tower, you have the Four of Cups. This is like disappointments. I feel like you're afraid of being disappointed. Like I said, if I were to pick one thing that I think is maybe preventing you from moving away from some sort of safety net, is a disappointment or making the wrong decision. My fear for you, and like I have said to you in the past, is being stuck in a situation until you're like 70, and then you're like, where did the time go? So, again, I don't want to scare you or anything like that, but I do feel like I would make a decision here, and you really can't make a wrong decision. Is what I would say to you. People always argue with me, and that's fine. Again, you can believe whatever you want. I'm not here to tell you what to believe, but the whole point is you really can't make a wrong decision. If you make a decision, it was the right decision, whether it turns out positively or negatively. It all has to do with how you frame what happens after, right? So I feel like you need to realize that, and that's what I would say there. And I feel like you need to look at like how things are working. I can't stress this enough because it keeps popping into my head. Whenever I get a message that just keeps repeating in my head, to me, it's like probably the most important message in your reading as well. I think you need to look at actually like break things down. If this is even in business, I'd be breaking things down into the numbers. I'd be like digging into the numbers if I were you, and I'd be looking and saying like, are things that I'm doing actually working? Like I feel like there's something here about things that aren't working, and I feel like you need to look at it. I think there are things that are working really, really well, and I think you need to look at that as well, because then you can say, look, if I double down on this, it's like, I'll be making more money, or you'll have more freedom, or whatever it is that you need. With the Eight of Cups, you have the Queen of Pentacles here as well. I like this. Queen of Pentacles is moving away from fear. For some of you, if you're looking for love, by the way, it could be a Capricorn that's coming in for you here. It could be any sign. I mean, it's just a general reading, but Capricorn definitely stands out to me. And what I would say there is that she is no longer focused on the rabbit, right? The rabbit represents fleetness, fertility, but it can also represent anxiety and fear. She's focused on the pentacle here. Kind of funny in some ways, because part of me feels like some of you are focusing on something and ignoring other things in your life. But she's a good card. Again, she's focused on the right things. With the Devil, you have the Judgment card here as well. Wake up call, needing to bring something to an end. Plain and simple, everything that I've been saying in this reading. They are standing in the coffins that they're standing in. They're like, this is how I feel about your entire reading right here. It's like, I feel like you feel very strongly pulled in a certain direction. It's like you feel the pull. You hear the call with that angel card. And again, right next to it, you have the Two of Cups, which is your higher self. And with the Judgment card, it's like I feel like you feel a very strong pull in a certain direction, but it's like maybe some of you are fearing letting go of something from the past, right? But I don't know. I think that the whole point of the Judgment card is that angel just starts tooting its horn, its trumpet that it's got right there. It just starts blasting it louder and louder and louder, and soon you're just not going to be able to ignore it. So that's what I feel for you here. Interesting reading, Aquarius. Super powerful. I like where this is going. I feel like you're becoming more efficient, which is a good thing. And that's what I would focus on. Like, I would focus on efficiency, especially for those of you that are doing things just to be busy here. If you find yourself channeling your energy into things that don't matter, I would, and again, I'm not saying that you shouldn't, have times where you just waste your time, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes, I just said it to another sign. Like, sometimes maybe we just have to watch TV. Sometimes maybe we have to do something that is a waste of time just so we can get out of our head. But again, I would try, I feel like this is about efficiency, is what's going on here. Definitely something I would think about. So this looks really good in certain ways, I think. I wouldn't really call it a good or bad reading. I do think it's good because I think if you follow advice, you're going to be very successful. But very interesting. So thank you for being here, Aquarius. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your Sun, Moon, and Rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your year.